Okay, so here's a bit of homework help. Exercise 805. You were asked to do those for homework. And here's some help. So I'm looking at question 8, and we have Mrs. whatever her name was, can't remember now, starts with G. She earns $598 per fortnight. We had to look up her pay-as-you-go, which from the table on your textbooks of page 305 was $130. Let me see if I've got that. No, that's from a different question. Okay, I looked that up for you and it was $130. So the net pay per fortnight was the next question. So we're going to add up all our deductions. There was $19.20, there was $84.90, there was $130 from the tax. That gave me a total of $234.10. Now we know that our net is our gross minus those deductions. Okay, so our gross we had up here, $598, and our deductions we had here. So we minus them off, and there's your answer. So that's your net pay. Then in the next part, we wanted to know what percentage of the 598, the gross, was the deducted amounts. So that was your 234. So that 234 had to be expressed as a fraction first of your original, and then how do we turn that into a percentage? Well, we want that fraction of 100, and there's your answer. Next one I looked at was question 9, and we have Cooper. His gross income is there. Let me see if we can see it a bit better. There we go. $1,125.86 per week. The deducted amounts, you add them all up and you get $313.83. Once again, there's that nice little formula. Net equals gross minus deductions. So here's our gross up there. There's our deductions there. So we minus them off and we get our answer. Now, once again, we wanted the deductions as a percentage of our gross in part B. So we're going to pick up our deductions, and we're going to write that as a percentage of our gross. And then we times by 100 to turn it into a percentage. All right, let's look at number 11. We've got Lena. And for this question, I'm using 52.18 weeks per year so that our answers line up with the back of the book. Because if I just used 52, I'm not as accurate. So we'll use 52.18. Lena's salary is $76,500. So fortnightly, let's divide by half of 52.18. Where does that 26.09 come from? See that one there? If I divide that by 2, that's going to give me what it is for a fortnight. I'm going to divide by 26.09. That gives me $2,943.66. Now the tax they told us was 21.6 cents in the dollar. It was just a flat tax, so we just have to take their word for it. It's obviously not getting us to look up any tables, so we figure that out by we've got to change that 21.6 cents into dollars, so 0.216 times 76,800, but because we want it fortnightly, we've gone and divided again by the 26.09. Every time we want to do anything fortnightly in this question, we're going to use 26.09. See? That's what happens when we're doing it per fortnight. So the deductions per fortnight, we've added those up. And that has to include the tax because that's coming out. A deduction is coming out. So once again, that nice little formula, net equals gross minus deductions. So the net, where was that net? Back up here somewhere. 2943.66. 6. What colour will I use? Green. See that one there? That's our gross. There it goes there. And then our deductions. They're right here. Subtract them and we've got our net. Question 12, we've got a guy or a girl, I don't know, called Balin, and the salary earned is $128,900 per annum. The annual union fees, well, obviously if I've given it per month, I times by 12 to get the annual, because annual means per year. Same thing for health payments, we're going to times that by 12. The annual net income then, once again, net is gross minus deductions. So we'll get our gross and we'll minus off our deductions. Okay, and that gives us $87,856.28. In D, they want the tax as a percentage of the gross. All right, so I've got to go find my tax, which is, where's my tax? Oh, it must have been given to us in the problem somewhere. I believe that was the tax figure. I haven't got the textbook in front of me. I've done these earlier. So I guess that's the tax figure as a percentage of the gross, which is back up here. If I get my finger off it, I can get the highlighter to work. There we go. Goes in there. And also, once we want it as a percentage, we're going to times by 100. So that's what we always do there. Janice. That's question 13. Gross weekly income, 38 times 1680. We figure that out. Total deductions, well, add them up. 277.80. There we go again. Net equals gross minus deductions. Bit of a pattern here. So we're going to get our 638.40. We're going to take off our 277.80, and there you go. Now, Amber in part B, her gross weekly, well, she's got 39 hours at $12.50. And she's got 2 at time and a half. So I had to multiply the hourly rate by 1.5. So see that's the normal hourly rate. If I multiply that by 1.5, that'll give me the time and a half. And she did 2 hours at time and a half and 13 at normal. That's how we figured that out to get 525. Total deductions, well, add them up. 167.50 plus 229.10. And again, net. Nice little formula, net equals gross minus deductions. What's my gross? 525. What are my deductions? 396.60. Subtract them and there you go. Let's do 14. You got 1,027.60 as your gross. Same formula, net is gross minus deductions. All right, so let's just do that. But they've given us the net in this case. So it's one of those weird questions where they give you the answer and you've got to figure out one of the bits that's missing. So they give us that bit. We've got that. We've got the gross. But we haven't got all of the deductions. In fact, the bit that we don't have is the tax. So I put everything in that I do have. I've got the 657.30 for the net. I've got the gross. And the only deduction left out of all of that, once I've got the gross minus some of the deductions, is this tax. All right, so that's what I need to figure out there. So I guess 657.30 has to be taken off 909, and that'll give us 251.70. If I want that as a percentage, we know that we write it as a fraction first and then times by 100. And you're done. I actually included a fortnightly tax table there if you wanted to have a look at that. It's fascinating, trust me. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.